Hi guys, you're welcome to another episode of Mailbox. We'll be addressing different mails from different people from all over the world. My name is Adeshion and with me is
Wale.
Our first mail is from Mark. Mark is from Germany. The title of his mail is Absence of Support. I lost my dad 2 months ago and I've been struggling with the grief. However, my closest friend hasn't been around as much as I expected him to be. I feel like he should be more supportive during this time, but it seems like he is intentionally being absent. Should I talk with him or let it go?
So, Mark, there are expectations in friendship that sometimes they can't be met. You know, the same thing goes for marriage, the same thing goes for any relationship. People have expectations of the other people when it's not communicated. And I agree with you, you might actually want to speak to that person. However, the person might not be available for the kind of support that you need because people process grief differently.
Right.
And as much as you're the one who lost your dad and you expect the person to be with you or be for you in that particular situation, he probably doesn't know how to. He's never seen you in that kind of position before.
Right.
He also speaks to other people. When people pass on, they don't know how to go and, commensurate with them. And people think naturally it's a human thing to, be for other people, but it's not always the same, and that's why you see some people ghost. In more recent times, I lost my neighbor, and for some weird reason, I do not know what to do. I saw this person last week, and so when my wife said, let's go and greet them, I'm like, to go and do what? It was too close for call until the people on the WhatsApp group in the estate were like, they are going to go and meet the person and say, they are sorry and all of that for their loss and stuff. Then it dawned on me to say, it would be really foolish of me not to go, to approach the widow and, commensurate with them. So a lot of people don't know how to process what we call grief in the context of grief. So for your friend, yes, he might not know what to do. And I agree with you that, you should speak to him about it. Maybe, for some reason, you also would have some respite and why he's, avoiding you or not even being emotionally supportive, in that particular situation. Yeah. I hope that has helped.
Yeah, so, Mark, so most times when people are bereaved or they are going through stuff, everybody will not know how to turn up for you. So most times people really don't know what to do or what to say. And now it's not even only when somebody is grieving. Sometimes too, when it's a success story, yes, or when they are celebrating, it looks like this person is not celebrating enough. But it's because pretty much you have friends that they don't even know what to do. Or probably you bought a house, you bought a new space, you bought a new car, and you say, oh, this person is not even coming through. So same thing too applies to grief. Some people really, they are confused. They don't know what to do. They are just okay at being your friends. But when things begin to happen to you, they really don't know how to react. Now, it's good that you guys are friends. So it means that you guys can actually speak to each other. So I think it will be okay for you to say, you know what, tell them how you want to be served in a situation like this. Because people might think you're being sensitive or they don't want to say things that might trigger you again. So they want to be careful or now they react to what the situation is. So I think you'll be okay since the person is your friend. It's okay for you to just speak to him or her and say, you know what, I would like you to be more around, more close. I'd like you to come through for me here, come through for me there. And then after which you can now begin to
express why
if they don't show up. So I don't think it's intentional. I'll just see it as the person being confused and yes, go ahead and talk to him. Don't let it go, because if you let it go, we don't know what's going to happen. Yes, you now begin to resent the person based on something that he doesn't even know about. I think we've pretty much been able to address that mail. Our second mail is from Dayo. Dayo is from Nigeria. I said, the title of the mail is Inflated Fees. Recently discovered my wife has been inflating our children's school fees and keeping the extra money. I feel betrayed and I don't understand why she would do that. When I confronted her, she got defensive. I'm confused and angry. How should I handle this?
Okay, so some of these conversations are things that happens pre-marriage. Why certain people have certain value systems and some people don't. Now, if you check very clearly, these are things that she's probably even doing when you were courting, and she didn't see it as a big deal, right? Now, for you, it's again, in marriage or even pre-marriage, value systems are things that keeps the home.
Right.
A lot of people think it's butterflies, vibes, and all the things that comes with marriage and all of that, feelings and emotions. What keeps a marriage are value systems of people. Now, she doesn't see it as wrong. In fact, some other men don't see it as wrong because they expect it to be that way. So let me give you a classic scenario. A man was raised in a certain space where the mother always inflates school fees, right? And they would not see anything wrong in it and all of that because that's how they grew. They even saw it as, love, so to speak. Now, somebody who wasn't raised in that particular environment was raised in a place where 5 naira is 5 naira. If there is an excess on it, drop that excess. Right. Don't even play with that. Now, they say, don't approximate. Even if the money increases, come back and say, this money has increased, so to speak. So for some of these people, they go with insecurities, they come with different nuances and stuff. So it's a function of value system. And you have to deal with the root cause. Don't get emotional about it. Why would you behave this way? So if it's not on, it might not just even be on school fees. It can be on possibly everything she's handling. And she feels that if I don't do that, you are not going to give that amount. All right. So there is a perception on how she grew up, one. Number two, there is also the conversation about, what she feels or the perception she has about you, that if I don't collect all this money now, I'm not going to get anything and all of that. The reason why people steal or lie is because they feel that there is not enough. Because if there is enough, nobody would be going around scheming. Right. I hope that has helped.
Yeah, so I'm actually big on accountability. I like it so much. Stop approximating. There's a 50 naira change. There's a 5,000. Deliver it. If the person declare it, let's know. Don't just assume something is 48,000 and say they said it's 50,000. What happened to the 2,000? All those little things. Now, this is what I see. So as if I never knew this question was coming up. I was having a conversation with somebody during the week and she was practically telling me that the school fees that she gives to her husband, she's always inflating. It was something like that. She's always, I said, I don't get it. Is your husband absent? How are you in school for you guys to be paying school fee is major. It's one of the major bill. Maybe if you guys own your house or if you don't own, after rent is school fee. Right. So that you've not even as the husband, you don't see how big is the house, how many children are you dealing with. You don't see the copy of the pro forma, or you guys don't pay to the school. So it means that you always pay to you have something is going on. You are actually, in as much as we see it as not being irrelevant, there's a form of absenteeism with the man. So it means that I just say 2 naira, you transfer to me. This is not based on trust. This is being responsible, even as a father in the home. That because I'm sure the way school fees are being paid, when they give your kids their reports, how it is done in Nigeria is it comes with the report card, or it comes as a mail to the parents. Who is receiving the mail? You don't see a copy. So you don't ever see anything on the school. And then you just pay. You don't even pay to the school in terms of auditing. So you pay to your partner for her to remit it. So, and whatever she says, so she pays to, she doesn't get receipts. Or you don't, I don't know. Some form of information I think is missing. And trust me, it's not only with school fee, it will cut across every other thing that you've decided to ignore. Because at the end of the day, issues of accountability that you ignore will become a major problem for you as an individual. So it won't be you being hurt, you'll soon be heartbroken. Because there are other things that you are not queuing to, you are not checking. You are not checking the children. You are not checking the home. You are not checking what is being bought. So they can actually be keeping gun in the home now. And you'll be saying because you are the father, you just want to provide. Electricity, you just want to provide. So sometimes provision doesn't stop at you providing the funds. Provision is end to end. You must see the process through from beginning to the end. The money you are providing with, what are they using it? It's not you being inquisitive or trying to say, I mustn't know everything, must I know everything? But you must also know that if you are giving $1 million, what is it used to? So you can begin to give me money there. I can be making my hair, be doing makeup. In fact, I can decide not to pay the kids' school fee.
Right.
And then at the end of the day, in fact, there are some people that they will say they'll pay rent, and then they will come back to say, send a mail and say, sir, we are still expecting you to pay. And then you come to your wife and she'll be like, oh, you know what, I actually had one Ashwebi to buy. You know, so all these stories, naughty story, we really need to be involved in the issue of the family so that our hearts won't become heartbreak at the end of the day. Please, let's pay attention to other details beyond school fee. And then for your wife, you really don't need to be upset with her. The deed has been done. She's been doing it. It's not the first time. It's not the second time. She still remains yours truly, your wife. So just call her, speak to her, and see how you can correct that wrong. After which, I'm sure, if she sees how you react to it, that you're not cool with it, I'm sure she would sit up and do normal. I think we've been able to address your mail to a certain extent. Our last mail for today is from Efe. Efe is from Nigeria. She said, love or loss. I just inherited 18 million naira. I've been thinking of using it to relocate or invest wisely. But my boyfriend of 5 months is already asking me to lend him 5 million. I don't want to seem selfish, but I'm also not sure if it's genuine. Should I help him or protect my money?
Every relationship has a context.
Yes.
The context also, you know, gives credence to what your relationship is about.
Right.
For you to ask, keep your money, because that's what you're going to do. For you to even ask this conversation, it means that you don't trust him. It means that you already have. I mean, you weren't factoring. You never factor this chap into this conversation, and possibly the man is intending to derail your plans for relocation. That you stay here with us. So, but the way to do it is that let's collect 5 million from this thing. Then after 5 million, it's going to be 12. And then what do you have left? Nothing. So it's really up to you. You understand the dynamics of your relationship.
So this mail is actually full of numbers. If you check it, this person is a number person. So you know it's the money. We already know the answer from the frame. She said, what a value to inherit, 18 million. I've been thinking of using it to relocate or invest wisely. Relocation, if you convert 18 million by the conversion rate, whatever the country you are going to, I'm sure you know what that figure is. By the time you pay 2 rents for like 2 months or 3 months, everything is gone. But my boyfriend of 5 months, be marking all the numbers, of 5 months is already asking me to lend him 5 million.
1 million for each month.
Yes, so I don't want to seem selfish, but I'm also not sure if it's genuine. So the first question is, I want to ask you, did you seem selfish when you are thinking of relocating, or are you going with him? Yeah. Because you've even showed us the selfish part. Right. What is the plan for this guy? Do you just want to, or it's possible that the guy has even invested so much in you and he's seeing your moves and he's trying to do permutation? I say, you know what?
So my investment will not go in vain.
So this is what I think I would advise you. So 18 million is not so much of an inheritance. However, I think you should spend your money wisely, and investment might be the way. Because after investing for say like maybe a year or two, maybe you might multiply to twice of what the value is. And then so in investment, most times when we talk about investment now, so it doesn't mean you keeping it and something yielding interest. It's you putting it into another business, something that is small that can bring out some other chick
Returns
could
on
return.
investment.
Now we also need to address the issue of love between you and your boyfriend, because it seems that you guys are transactional. So you actually need to genuinely start a relationship and let your boyfriend really not be your business partner as such. He has to be your boyfriend, such that all these conversations, it won't be so much of secrets or something, and then his own moves too would not be a bit calculated.
Suspicious,
because sincerely, somebody just inherited 18 million and you are thinking of collecting almost half of the money. But what is your plan?
It's just lending.
So please, boyfriend, try as much as possible to come correct. Learn it for what? And shortchange me of 18 million that I'm trying to invest in traveling
In our future.
So I think he also needs to come out clean on how this relationship should be going moving forward. Is it transactional, or do you guys genuinely love each other? I think all the elements of these things should be something that should be addressed. Whether you even want to invest, there are conversations you have with your man and say, this is what I plan to do. He would even be saying, you know what, I think you should invest. I have this. If he's introducing a business that you want to also monitor, it's fine. But that you want to borrow your inheritance to somebody, I think is pretty much questionable. So I think we've been able to address your mail to a certain extent. So that'll be all for this episode of Mailbox. Till next time, I remain Adeshion.
And I'm Olawale.